So when I was very little, we grew up sort of Craigavon direction. It was just me and my wee sister. And I've got 2 girls too, so that tradition's continued. And we used to visit Santa in Craigavon Shopping Centre, and it was great fun. We were Craigavon originally, and then we moved out towards the countryside a wee bit more towards Guildford. And my mummy would have been off work. She would have raised us until I was about 7, and then she would have went back to nursing in Craigavon Area Hospital, where she was a children's nurse. And her and Dad would have tended to work opposite each other. So he was a piano tuner, and then so his work typically was during the week, and Mummy's work would have been at weekends, and then sort of whenever he wasn't busy. So as you can imagine, there weren't too many pianos to tune on Christmas. So Mum would have quite often, she would have took Christmas Eve off to wrap presents and get things organised, but she would have typically went in on Christmas Day afternoon to the ward and kind of worked then nursing with the children. And she, like, it was always a lovely wee party atmosphere, she would have said, and good fun, and making it special for the kids. When I got older, I suppose a lot of my cousins would have went away to university and would have got jobs elsewhere outside of Northern Ireland, down south or England or in America. And so we would have typically kind of gathered together and had, because people came home for Christmas, and we would have had like a cousins reunion on Christmas Eve morning. And my auntie would have like cooked us all a big brunch, and we would have got together and just had a lovely catch-up time, and saw each other. And that was nice to chart with photographs as we grew up and got older, and just had a lovely time kind of reconnecting. And it was lovely of my auntie to kind of make sure that that happened, and intentionally made it happen, you know, that way. And then I suppose I was a boarding mistress in Methody whenever I was at the end of Queen's, and then at the beginning of my law school time, until I got married. Actually, I got married from Methody. Methody was my sort of last abode before I went to go and live with Johnny. So whenever I was there, one year, Johnny sort of got wind that I was going to be staying overnight on Christmas Eve night in MacArthur Hall on my own in boarding, and I think his heart went out to me at the idea of me waking up on my own on Christmas morning. So he said, no, that's no good, let's you come round to my parents' house. And I stayed over then with his parents as well on Christmas Eve night, so I would have somewhere nice to wake up. So it's nice then, I am returning the favour this year, or we are, to his parents, and they're coming over to have Christmas lunch with us, so that'll be really nice. And yeah, it'll be good to see them, and my mummy as well.
Is this your biggest ever turkey to cook then?
Well, it shouldn't be too bad, a turkey crown, but it'll be, turkey crown and a ham. But I've got my big range now, Chris, so I'm delighted to have that. We're all set. So when I was really very little, Mum didn't work, and Dad sort of was between jobs. He was in the electric service originally, and then he became a piano tuner, and there was a time in which he was like training for that. So there wasn't an awful lot of money in the house, and Mum told me that I think she was able to do Christmas under a £5 one year was the plan. So I think I was about 5, and I got a dolly, and I only learned much later that Mum had made her dress out of an old blouse she had, an old green sort of satin blouse. So she frugally made crafted this wee dress. Now I didn't know, and it was a lovely dolly to have, and you know, every bit as happy an occasion as the kid that gets plenty and loads.
Barbie.
Yeah, absolutely. I also have no photos of this one, Chris, but I do remember getting a purple shell suit and some roller boots. So definitely good child of the 80s.
So I bet you the photos do exist and you just won't show them.
Those have been screened for public viewing. In the Christmas stocking, the one thing that I used to always love, well, we used to get 2 things: Dr. Pepper and salt and vinegar Pringles. They were great. They were my favourite treats that I would have gotten with stocking. So a can of Dr. Pepper, that was like very, very looked forward to for Christmas Day.
So that was Christmas breakfast, was it?
Yeah, pretty much. Do you know, it was funny, I was recollecting my mummy. I said, I can't remember Christmases wild well. And she said to me, it's probably because your memories were so happy. They were all good.